Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday Training. I'm your host, Dr. Megan Fisk. It is so great to be back. Happy 2021. I am so incredibly excited for this year. Mostly because I have set my goals that I am helping 78 lucky soul speakers this year accomplish their dreams to get on stages, give those TED Talks, become the most effective speaker they can be. And I am thrilled about it. Like, have so many plans. Got some green juice even. I know if Esther watches this, she's one of my longtime clients and has been on me to stop drinking so much coffee for quite some time. So I'm thrilled you're here. Right off the bat, if you know that you're ready for Soul Speakers Academy, you can fill out the application on my website at drmeganfisk.com/academy, or it's right there in the navigation bar. It is on application basis because I like to make sure that it is the best program for you based on where your business is at and what your business is. So you can check that out on my website. Tonight, what we are talking about is the 5 steps to make public speaking fun and easy and really a piece of cake, right? Because I know so many of you are like, public speaking's challenging, it's time consuming, and especially for my introverts out there, and you get this energetic hangover that like makes you not want to do it anymore and you absolutely hate. Drop a 1 if that's you and you are like, yeah, I think it's challenging, time consuming, gives me some sort of energetic hangover, and I'm drained for days and I don't want to do it. So I feel you, and I want to walk you through the 5 steps that I actually use with my Soul Speakers and Soul Speakers Academy to make it so that it can be fun and easy and a piece of cake. Because here's the thing. All of you in this group are public speakers. If you are a soul-led entrepreneur, if you are the face of your company or your brand, you are doing public speaking, and it's up to you to communicate your message and your brand in the most effective way possible. And how you speak about yourself and your business directly influences the amount of sales that you're going to make. So this is a huge topic. I know so many people don't get into their business, right? Like if you're a life coach or happiness coach or yoga teacher or meditation teacher or Reiki master, going through my list of clients at the moment. I know you didn't get into this to give speeches all day long, probably, right? Or all of my authors out there, you're like, I want to write my book, don't necessarily want to speak. So I get it. And that's why I love helping you see the joys of public speaking. So let's start by walking through what our 5 steps are. Because first, you really want to gather your ingredients. And so I always say that public speaking is a piece of cake because it is just like baking a cake. Side story, I'm actually a terrible cook. So I once made a chocolate cake mix that never cooked in the oven. I put in all oil and like no water. And so it was in the oven for hours and it never like hardened or did anything. I've got a personal mission in 2021 to actually get better at baking cakes because they make me really happy and I love doing them. I think it's officially on my bucket list. It is officially on my bucket list. I've been laughing about it with my friends the last couple of weeks, but it's officially on my bucket list to be on some sort of reality baking show. It might be Nailed It, where they make terrible cakes, or I don't think I'm eligible for the Great British Bake Off, but regardless, let's stick with this. And so here's what I've learned with my experience of baking terrible cakes and why I say that it's like public speaking is you have to start with gathering the ingredients. I can't tell you how many times I have tried to bake something and I don't have an egg that I need, right? You only have 2 eggs left in the carton and you need 3, or we have no baking soda for some reason. I feel like baking soda should be infinite, but alas, Sometimes we run out of it. So all of these things, you need to make sure that you have them in place, because what's going to happen is you're going to start trying to bake the cake and not have an essential ingredient that you'll have to spend a lot more time creating than you need to. And that's what holds people back from actually converting audiences into clients, because you're like, don't have, the opt-in page ready yet. So guess I can't go live today. Or I don't have the follow-up email sequence after my webinar. So guess it's not going to convert. Like, you have to have all of these other ingredients. Or if you don't know like what your founding story is, that is one of the essential ingredients that every business owner needs. Like, why did you start the business that you started? And how did it come to be, right? Like, we don't just wake up one day and think, I want to be a public speaking coach, or I want to start this business. There's a whole story there. And the more effectively you can communicate that story, the more know, like, and trust you're going to build with your audience. And those three are really push factors that push people through your sales funnel. So, gathering your ingredients. What are some of the ingredients that you need as a business owner? These are all things that I help my clients with in Soul Speakers Academy. But to get you started with a list of what you're going to need is first your core message. What is that one truth that you're here to share? Over in, I think it's tagged, or the units in this Facebook group, there's the core message challenge to help you unlock your core message. It's that one truth, that one thing. My core message is that your speech will change the world, because I inherently believe that everyone that finds me has a message inside of them that is going to change the world. And maybe not the whole world, right? There's 7.5 billion people in the world. But to change the world, you just need to change one person's mindset, one person's understanding of themselves in the world, one person's, really perspective, their behaviors, their attitudes, all those things. So if you can change that, then you've changed the world. Core message, super important. Next up is your greatest hits. This is like your founding story. These are usually about 10 stories that you're going to tell time and time again. And they're been strategically picked to make sure that they cover all of the things in your business that you want them to. What is like that? So founding story is one of them. Another one is that client transformation that you provide. Another could be something that's happened in your life. If there's been an aha moment or like a pivotal change in your lifetime that sets you on this new path. Those are the types of stories that you want to have down pat. The next one is, who is your ideal audience member? So you've probably seen this before if you've been following along, but for all my new people, I start with your core message, which is really different than what a lot of branding and like more marketing coaches, I would say, not necessarily presentation coaches. But a lot of people will start all with who your ideal audience is or who your ideal client is. And that is really important. That's that second circle over here. But who you are, because you are your unique selling point. There's no one else like you. There might be millions of transformational life coaches in the world, but there's no one like you, and there's no one that has your experience and your particular skill set. And so your core message and where that meets your ideal audience member becomes your business, right? And becomes the messaging that you want to speak to. So maybe you've seen the people out there, maybe you're guilty of this right now, where you're morphing yourself for who you think your ideal audience member is. And maybe thinking, oh, I have to be like this, and I have to do, X, Y, and Z. I can't be like my true authentic self because my ideal audience member wouldn't like that. That's false. Like, that's not going to get you clients. You need where those two interlock. So you do need to know, though, who your ideal audience member is and message directly to them. But the next part is that coaching framework, where those two combine. What is that transformational process? And this is really that fourth ingredient. We go through a couple more in Soul Speakers Academy, but these four: your core message, your greatest hits, your ideal audience member, and then your coaching framework, the transformation that you provide, how you take someone from point A journey, or like from what their problem is through to the solution that you provide. That's that coaching framework. Hi, it's so great to have you on. StreamYard doesn't always show me names, but if you're jumping on, say hi to me. We are going through the 5 steps to make public speaking super fun and easy. We are on step 1, gathering the ingredients. Let's move on to step number 2, which is follow the recipes. So, other thing, along with me being a terrible baker, is I decide I don't need to follow recipes a lot of the time. And then I'm shocked why the cake never bakes in the oven, or it like is just a flat piece of like cardboard looking thing and never gets puffy. I don't follow recipes, and you really need to, especially in the beginning when you're learning something new. And so you really want to make sure that every speech that you give has a beginning, a middle, and an end. That is like the most basic recipe to it. That is going to be like your eggs, butter, flour, sugar, of to extend my analogy further. But you want to make sure that you're following some tried and true recipes, particularly when it comes to pitching your services and products. So you're transitioning seamlessly from the content and the value you're providing into making that pitch. So in Soul Speakers Academy, I've identified the 5 speeches that all soul-led entrepreneurs need. And then I've put together recipes with tons of different variations to them to make sure that you've got the recipe when you need it, and that you know what to include to make it the most effective and the clearest speech that it can be. So those 5 speeches are an introduction speech, Facebook Lives like this one, or we might call them like shorter speeches. Promotional speeches are number 3, webinars, and then a signature speech, that, TED-like talk, that TED Talk-like speech. There we go. So you want these recipes to tell you step by step what to say, how to transition between these points, and where to add your personality to connect with your audience with that ease and that clarity, that's really going to make you that effective public speaker. So following the recipes is step number 2. Step number 3 is baking it. And so just speak with confidence about yourself and your business. You have to practice your speech, right? There's no other way around it. Like there's no shortcut. And I feel like this is where a lot of other public speaking like coaches, online course creators, and maybe some of you in here have taken other online public speaking stuff before, but they're not giving you that practice space and that room to really see what works and what doesn't work. I like to say, like a cake's going to take 36 minutes to bake. There's no way of making it faster or slowing it down. Like maybe you could make the oven a little hotter, but that might change things around. It's going to take as long as it takes. And practicing your public speaking skills and getting comfortable takes as long as it takes for you, and really letting your message soak in so you can say it off the cuff, right? So you know what your 5-step process is that you walk folks through for your course, or what is that transformation you provide? What is your core message? These are kind of deep questions that do take a little bit of strategy and a little bit of time to think through. But again, gathering those ingredients is what makes the baking time go so much smoother. And it's also why I started 777 Club. So it's my Toastmasters alternative / speech practicing space that's a great time. I bring together only 7 speakers at a time, so it is still more intimate. Sometimes Toastmasters groups are a lot larger than that, to practice a speech up to 7 minutes. And then you get feedback from everyone else on the call, which is 6 other speakers plus myself, so 7 people. So that's why we call it 777 Club. There are times over in the events in this group, if you want to sign up and check out 777 Club, you can come your first time for free and really get comfortable speaking. That's what it's all about. Come by and practice, and baking it is really that practice piece. So the 4th thing is decorating it, and I get so excited about decorating it. It is, I think, it's it's the cherry on top. It's exactly what you would think it is. It's those little things that are going to take it over the edge. And it's the body language. It's, do you hold that smile a little longer? Do you really pan face your and say this one point more seriously so it sinks in with your audience? Like, how are you presenting yourself and your message? And more importantly, is that what the audience is taking away from it? Or are you thinking you're doing one thing, but then the audience is like, not so much. So decorating it is super important. I like to also talk for the kind of aging myself. I didn't realize that um, Ben Stein was not like, so I'm 32. People that are a couple years younger than me have no idea who Ben Stein is and like the monotone statistics professor type voice. So I was like, oh, I guess I'm old now. But Ben Stein that type of speaking is very different than like Elle Woods, Legally Blonde type of speaking, right? Huge gap there. And you have to decide like, what is that personality that you want to put forth? And is your audience understanding it as much? So decorating it is really that fourth step that's going to make public speaking super fun and easy. And I absolutely love it. Like decorating it is one of my favorite parts. It's something we get to practice again a lot more in 777 Club. And I bring that up because everyone that enrolls in Soul Speakers Academy gets to attend 777 Club unlimited for the 3 months they're in Soul Speakers Academy. So you get all of the experience to practice your speech, to practice those hand movements, to really let it seep into your soul. So you're ready to put your best marketing foot forward when you jump on and do Facebook Lives like this, or YouTube videos, or webinars, or even just jump on a sales call with a client and explain who you are and what you do. Finally, the fifth step is all about sharing it. So if you bake a cake and no one eats it, did you really bake a cake? Dun, dun, dun. All jokes aside, though, you could have the most beautiful speech, but if you don't have a visibility plan and a way to get it out to the people that need to hear it, right? The people that are going to become your clients, then it's all for naught. So step number 5 is super, super important. You really need a strategy for getting your message out to the masses. How many times? It has to be based on consistency and based on those pull factors that are pulling people through your sales funnel. So how do you move someone from like finding out about you to booking a call with you, from booking a call with you to buying your product, from buying your client to referring you to others? That funnel and how you communicate with the people that are at different stages of it is essential to your success. And so when you're doing a live like this, knowing what to promote and where to promote it is super important. And it takes that strategy piece to it. And then the second thing is consistency. I know so many of you have jumped on and tried to do a live once. I have another call in 10 minutes. I'm glad my phone reminded me. But you've tried to do a live once and maybe no one watched it, or maybe you didn't get clients after a week or two of going live. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to move over to Clubhouse, or I'm going to try Instagram for a week, or shouldn't I be doing more on LinkedIn, or X, Y, and Z? You can be all the places, but you need to be consistent wherever it is that you're choosing to spend your time, and wherever your clients are showing up is really key. So figuring out what that visibility plan is going to be for your business is so important. And it's really the 5th step of Soul Speakers Academy. So we can get you out there in front of your people and converting them into paying clients, because that's what speaking about your business is really all about. It's all content marketing. So there you have it, the 5 steps for making public speaking a piece of cake, making it super fun and super easy. I did not say not at all time consuming, because it does take a fair bit of time. And I like to be really like realistic with everyone about that. Is Soul Speakers Academy and this 5-step process isn't something that's just going to happen overnight. And I know it can be tempting because I've worked with a lot of clients that have gone down this route in the beginning to outsource a lot of your messaging in your business and make it something that someone else does, and then you just show up. But that is, like I was talking about earlier, when you're just so focused on who your ideal audience member is, then your business doesn't have any of you in it. And what happens is someone gets on a sales call with you or starts one of your programs and they're like, wait, this isn't what, like, you're not the person I thought you were. There's a mixed match here in like in the messaging or something. And then they're not going to buy from you. So you want to make sure that it's your voice, right? Because people do need your message. They don't need someone else's message, right? They need that special thing that I sound like Marie Forleo now, but I so believe it. They need that special thing that only you can do. And so I really encourage you to spend the time. A great starting point is that core message challenge that's over in the unit section of this Facebook group. Or if you're ready to become a soul speaker and really nail down your essential ingredients, practice these speech recipes, and make the visibility plan that's going to get you in front of your clients in 2021, let's chat. I will drop my link to schedule a call with me in the comments, and I would love for you to be one of. I just got my first client of 2021 today. So you'll be one of my 77 other soul speakers this year. Anywho, I hope that you have a great week ahead. Let me know in the comments, one, any questions you have about this 5-step process, and two, how many clients are you serving this year? I would love to know your number. How many people do you want to coach? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. Have a great week. Bye-bye.